Then the Lord said, "Put your hand inside your cloak." So Moses put his hand into his cloak, and when he took it out, it was leprous like snow. "Now put it back into your cloak," said the Lord. So Moses put his hand back into his cloak, and when he took it out, it was restored like the rest of his flesh. This is one of my favorite verses at the beginning of Exodus, and I'm going to tell you why. So at the beginning of the book of Exodus, what we have right now is the Israelites are in slavery to the Egyptians, and they're being oppressed physically, mentally, and spiritually. And this happens for about 4 of their generations. Now, God promised in Genesis that he will restore his people. He will restore the Israelites into the promised land. And he kept that promise. But there was a process involved. Now, in between this generation, Moses was born. And for any of you who do not know Moses, he was a massive liberator for the Jews. And the most beautiful thing about Moses, which I've learned about him, is that he had no confidence. He didn't believe that he was worthy of the anointing that was placed on his life. But you will also see that despite that, he is the first prophet of the Bible to not only have an entire book that is dedicated to him, but he is the first prophet to work miracles in the lives of the Israelites through the glory of God. And you see it right at the beginning when Moses meets the Lord for the first time. And the Lord introduces himself as I am who I am, which basically means Yahweh. And not only does God introduce himself in such a holy manner, but he does it in such a loving way as well. And he basically says to Moses, and he says, you don't have to have confidence in yourself. I will give you a voice to speak. I will give you the confidence that you need. I am with you through every struggle. Just know that it is done. And in this particular verse, when he says to Moses, put your hand in your cloak, and then he takes his hand out of his cloak, and he sees that it is filled with leprous, which is basically a skin disease. And it is biblically something that you would consider, physically unclean. And Moses can see that his hand is